Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to redefine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will be free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a I don't give a fuck. 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 It's time to start doing the right thing. So trust your instincts, stop listening to others, and own your decisions. People will always tell you what to do, be and how to live. So let's create things what matters most to you. You'll be glad you did. Now start claiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Well, ahoy, everybody. Good morning. Batten down the hatches. Pick up your ammo, do whatever, because we know the summer of love, those peaceful protests are coming. And we're going to discuss because today, this very morning, Roe v. Wade has been overturned by the Supreme Court. And we're just not going to go off my opinion, not just the opinion in the chat. And ahoy, Eileen, and hey, Jason. We're actually going to go through all the news coverage. We're going to look at Fox News. We're going to look at CNN. We're going to look at MSNBC. We are going to look through Twitter because, Twitter is the real world. But we're going to have a discussion. Depending on where you fall on the spectrum, we are, you either are very happy right now or you're very upset. But this is a stream where we're just going to discuss and we're going to be respectful of each other. So whatever you believe, whatever you think, we're going to accept other people because yes, it does say TVMA up there, but here's the thing. We're also certified drama free. So we are going to listen to people. We are going to take on the hard-hitting topic, which a lot of people are scared to cover this topic. But you know what? Fuck it, I'm not. So Roe v. Wade. This is where everybody's saying, "Oh, it's the abortion law." But let's look at what Roe v. Wade actually is. Let's look at what it actually came from. All right, so let me share the screen. All right, so Roe v. Wade. Get off of their History Channel. I don't want your ad. So it was a landmark legal decision issued on January 22nd, 1973. Maybe I should make this a little bit bigger. In which the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a Texas statute banning abortion, effectively legalizing the procedure across the United States. The court held that a woman's right to an abortion was implicit in the right to privacy protected by the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Prior to Roe v. Wade, abortion had been illegal throughout much of the country since the late 19th century. Since the 1973 ruling, many states imposed restrictions on abortion rights. The Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade today, June 24th, 2022, holding that there was no longer a federal constitutional right to abortion. So when we're talking about abortion and Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade was not necessarily about abortion. It was about the 14th Amendment. It's the right to privacy. So it was a statute to where a woman was able to go to her doctor and able to do stuff without having somebody else. You don't have to let the husband or whatever, they don't have to be part of it. It's a right to privacy. A lot of people get it misconstrued that it was all about abortion, and that's not what it was about. As a matter of fact, Roe v. Wade, the Roe, which she didn't even have an abortion. It wasn't even, any of that. So it was just about, what the heck, stupid ads. But that's what it's about. It is about the right to privacy. And no, you're not wrong. We're going to discuss that as well. So when it comes to Roe v. Wade, all right, so I'm just going to go through a couple of websites and what they say, because right now everybody is up in arms about saying that abortion is going to be illegal and all these people are going to die. That is not what this overturning is. All that the Supreme Court, the job of the Supreme Court is to find out if laws or anything, and they do rulings based off the constitutionality of something a state does. They don't make laws, okay? They just rule and say, are laws constitutional or not? And this is where the breakdown of our government system between the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislation branch. Legislation branch are the ones that make the law, not the courts. And that's the problem in today's society. We are sitting here thinking the courts, well, if the Supreme Court says this is what it needs to be. The Supreme Court does not make law. All they do is find if the law or the rulings are constitutional or not. That is it. So this is why this is where a lot of people are talking about court packing and stuff, like, oh, we have to have people support the way we do. It doesn't matter what the Supreme Court, who is in the Supreme Court. What matters is what law is passed through the legislation. Okay? So that's what it is. So again, it was originally based off the 14th Amendment, the right to privacy, not abortion. Now, what happened today, which was leaked prior, so you know all the protests and people at the Supreme Court, their houses and all that stuff. What happened today was a 5-4 decision, that claims, well, it doesn't claim, it's out now, that Roe v. Wade, what happened in 1973 was bad law. And let me tell you why it's bad law. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the progressive Supreme Court justice that passed, she even said that Roe v. Wade was a bad decision and a bad law because everybody takes it, misconstrues what the 14th Amendment right to privacy and what the actual ruling was. And even Ruth Bader Ginsburg said it was bad law. But again, we're not talking about activist judges. As much as people may not like Ruth Bader Ginsburg back in the day, she tried to stick with the Constitution. And I don't care what anybody says. You show me in the Constitution where it says abortion is a constitutional right, I'll shut up. But until you can, it's just not there. So the ruling today, the ruling of overturning Roe v. Wade, what that did, it did not say that abortion is now illegal, as everybody's trying to claim, where everybody's like, oh my God, we're just going to have to go to Mexico and like use coat hangers and all stuff. That is not what this ruling means at all. Because again, in 1973, what the court did, it said these states, because guess what? This is not a federal, it's not federal. All the Roe v. Wade decision did back in 1973 was take the power away from the states and made it federal. And it says, no, if California does it, now everybody has to do it. New York, or it's about that breakdown. So here's the thing. The only thing that changed between yesterday and today, it is saying this is going back to the states. The states, whether you live in California, Texas, Michigan, New York, those states, it is the states' rights legally to make laws. They can either ban it outright, they can do restrictions, and this is why voting actually matters, especially with state level voting. Don't worry, not necessarily where it talks about voting for people in the House and Congress and all that stuff. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about in the state. If you don't like how your state runs, guess what? In Texas, you have the heartbeat bill, the heartbeat law. It's not saying abortion is illegal. It's saying past pretty much 12 weeks, then we are saying we are not going to perform it. It is not saying abortion is illegal. It's not saying that. And then everybody's like, well, they may not know. 14 weeks. That's a long time. And yes, yes, Jason, state elections are more important than Congress or anything else because they're the ones that make the legislation and the rules and stuff that you have to follow. The governor's race, all those things, you have to pay attention to those. But all this is doing is taking the power away from the federal level and giving it back to the states where it should have been all along. Guess what? If you don't like the laws of your state, move to a different state. Or vote. Vote. All of this stuff is up on the chopping block. All you have to do is vote. So, that's all it's doing, is giving it back to the states. It is not saying that it is banned. There's not going to be women dying in the streets or whatever the media and everybody wants to pipe it up to. What's up, Mike? It is just saying the states have the right to put their own laws and restrictions in play. And you can't have a judge in California depict what's going to happen in Texas. That's where you have like the people legislating from the bench, and that is not what they're there to do. What they're there to do is just find out if stuff is constitutional. Again, abortion is not a constitutional right. That is neither saying I am pro-life or pro-choice. I'm just stating a fact. There is nowhere in the Constitution, which is what the Supreme Court is supposed to judge on. There is nothing in the Constitution that says you have the right to an abortion. Nowhere. Let me state this again. There is nowhere in the Constitution that says it is your right to have an abortion. And that is the only ruling that they're talking about. There are laws, there are restrictions, there are that stuff. Their whole purpose was just to rule and say, is this constitutional or not? The fact of the matter is, Roe v. Wade was bad law. It was fought on a premise that didn't even actually happen. Roe v. Wade, she didn't even have the abortion. It was put on the back, and Roe, which isn't even a real name, didn't even like the case, didn't even want to. It was fought in the state and legislation because it was used as a cudgel to try to get what people want. But that's neither here nor there. It wasn't in the Constitution. It is not in the Constitution. And if you want it in the Constitution, it's going to take a constitutional amendment, and you are going to have 3/4 of Congress vote on a constitutional amendment. And guess what? That's never going to happen. We can't even agree on simple stuff of like what our federal holiday should be. We can't even go simple as that. So hopefully everybody has an understanding of what Roe v. Wade was about to begin with. That's it. It was about privacy. Was not about abortion. It was about privacy. And it has been put up saying that it is just saying, oh no, I can have abortions all the time. That's not what that Roe v. Wade was about. Now that it's overturned, it is going back to the states. It's going back to the states. They can make their law, their legislation of what they want. That is it. But depending on what you see in the media, what you watch, what you listen to, what you see on Facebook, and trust me, we're even going to pull up Twitter here, and we're going to look at what people are saying on Twitter. If you do not think that there is not going to be rioting, if you don't think there's not going to be all these people just saying, people with screaming and stalking Supreme Court justices and do all this stuff, because guess what? In America today, you can't just fucking accept how the world is and what laws are. No, I understand. Protesting is okay. I love protesting. I love that you can do that. What is not okay is if you are protesting and you are at somebody's house, you're a danger to people, you're setting stuff on fire, you're beating people up, you're doing all this stuff. Guess what? If you're sitting in the middle of a highway, because you're like, I'm going to block traffic, I'm going to let my voice heard. Guess what? That's illegal. And there are some states that pass laws, yes, state laws. You become speed bumps. But you have no right to impede. If you're going to be stupid enough, not saying people will do it, but people just stop. Vote. It's back to the states. It has nothing to do with your abortion, all that stuff. It's back to the states. That's all it's saying. It's saying it is going back to the states, state power, not federal. I don't understand how people are so twisted by what they're fed with the media, depending on what it is. And we're going to look at all of them. We're going to look at all the media. I have them all pulled up. We're going to look at what they said. it's funny. There's people that are so up in arms about Roe v. Wade and all that stuff, but they don't even understand what the court case was about. They don't even understand why people are so upset. They can't even look and just say, hey, it's not saying that abortion is illegal and banned and people are going to be dying in the street. That is not what this is about. But people are losing their fucking minds. Get educated, people. Read the actual court case. It had nothing to do with abortion. It was about privacy. But this is the hill that everybody chooses to die on. What's up, Phil? So let's go ahead and look through some of this news media coverage. And a lot of the news media coverage is live. I'm not going to be showing video. I'm just going to show what they've written. And we will show the contrast. We will show the contrast of what different media is saying. Yes, I am going to bring up Fox News. And people are going like, Fox News. And I am going to bring up CNN. And all the people on the right are going to be like, CNN. And then MSNBC. They're just fucking retarded. MSNBC. And I'm even going to bring up Breitbart. And I'm going to bring up all the stuff. Well, let's have an actual fucking discussion. Let's see where people are coming from when it comes to this topic. Because people, I couldn't say it any better, Jason. People are sheep. I'm telling you right now, if you want to have a discussion about this stuff, and you come to me and you don't even know what this topic is about, if you come to me and you're like, well, this is all about abortion, I'm going to shut you down quick as shit because I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I can discuss with intelligent people or somebody that's done research and stuff like that. We can have discussions. We're not going to change anybody's mind because people have those core values and core beliefs that they live by. They have that. And I support that. You can do what you want to do. But if you come with those core values and beliefs based off a lie or based off of something that you were fed, you can't argue. I'm not, how do I put this plain? You can't argue with a stupid person. Because if you don't have facts, and I'm not talking about his facts, her facts, their facts, the truth, or their truth. There is no their truth. There is the facts. We're just going with the facts. That is it. Your opinion of those facts, the key word is opinion. So Moose Gal says, this is actually a very stupid thing to do. People don't really realize what the Republicans will do next. Women have every right to have access to reproductive health care. Not saying they don't. And they still do. The whole thing, as we discussed already, Roe v. Wade was about privacy, had nothing to do with reproductive health care or abortions. Sorry. Look it up. It's facts. It's about the 14th Amendment, the right to privacy. Had nothing to do with abortion. This is just the hill that people choose to die on. So where do we start? Let's start with CNN. Let's start with CNN. Let's see what CNN is saying about this. Let's see. Okay, live updates. All right. So ruling sets up court battles over states trying to block abortions outside their borders. How are they going to block abortions outside their borders? Let's read. With states now free to ban the procedure, Friday's ruling sets up the next anticipated abortion fight in court. What states can do to hinder abortions obtained outside their borders? Why the fuck does it have anything to do with outside their borders? I don't understand. Now, there are liberal justices on the court. The liberal justices noted this in their dissent. After this decision, some states may block women from traveling out of state to obtain abortions or even from receiving abortion medications from out of state. How does that work? Are we talking about medical coverage, like insurance, like saying if you go out of the state, if you have a state insurance, it won't cover it out of another state? It doesn't make sense. Some may criminalize efforts, including the provision of information or funding to help women gain access to other states' abortion services. Guess what? Vote. Vote. If you don't like the way your state is going, vote. It's that simple. State laws. As they express concerns about the financial and logistical challenges women will face to travel out of state to obtain abortion, the liberals alluded to effort to prevent interstate travel to obtain an abortion. In a concurrence, Justice Brett Kavanaugh tried to quell some of these concerns as he tried to play down the other legal questions the Friday ruling raises. For example, may a state bar a resident of that state from traveling to another state to obtain an abortion? In my view, the answer is no, based on the constitutional right to interstate travel. This is going into a completely different right. The right to travel, the right to freely move. So if they tried to do that, guess what? That would go to the Supreme Court and that would be upheld. All of this is fear-mongering, man. Well, there's going to be women dying in the streets. Back alley abortions. So still, even before Friday's opinion, some red states were testing the waters around how fair they could reach to regulate outside their borders. Let's see. The proposal would even extend to cases where sexual intercourse occurred within this state and the child may have been conceived by that act of intercourse. Nobody gives a fuck where you fuck. Man, some of these people. All right. Well, let's the pro-life people, let's make them bad people. National Right to Life Convention erupted in cheers when ruling was announced. We're all excited. But Tobias acknowledged we have a long battle ahead of us. Abortion is not going to be illegal because of this decision. It is right. It's not illegal because of this decision. It is just saying the states make their laws. There is no state at this time that says abortion is illegal. And then we always have that same conversation where people are like, well, what about rape and incest and all that stuff? Guess what? There are exceptions to every rule. There are. But we don't make rules or law based off of statistically speaking, and this is statistically speaking, you can look up the numbers. Incest, rape, and stuff like that, that accounts for, according to the National Health Association, all that stuff, all the abortions that were from incest and rape in the last year was 1.8% of all abortions in the United States was from reaction from incest, rape, and stuff like that. That's it. The other 97.2% had nothing to do with that. So no, I will not play into that whole thing. Well, you're just trying all these incest and rape babies. You want that? No, I'm not playing into that game. And there are laws that protect against stuff like that. So there you go. Let's see. CNN analyst weighs in on why SCOTUS ruling will impact poor women who choose abortion. It's funny because in today's society, most people, yes, I understand 1.8. It's a horrible thing. 1.8 is still a horrific percentage. That is true. That is a horrible percentage, Angie. It happens. But you don't make laws and everything based and change everybody's aspect based off the 1.8%. There are people that are born with 6 fingers. 6 fingers. But I don't see a bunch of glove makers selling gloves at Walmart and everybody that has 6 fingers. You don't make rules and laws for the exception to the rule. That's just not how the world works. But it's funny because they're like, it'll impact poor women. That's crazy. Most people that have abortions are generally in middle to lower class. They are poorer. And I'm going to say something that people may not like. Besides that 1.8% they had no choice in, if you cannot afford to have kids, hopefully you can afford a condom. Or take the pill. Or abstinence. That's no, Texas did not ban abortion. We're going to talk about Texas here shortly. But I'm just saying, where does accountability happen? Where does I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think of how to say it. Where do people just finally take responsibility for actions? How about I mean, sex is a very prominent, easy thing that happens all over in today's society. Like everything that we are fed, even from like now with younger kids and their TV program, it's sex, sex, sex all the time. And sex is like, oh, it's no big deal. How about we get back to a thing where sex becomes a big deal again? How about if you don't want kids, stop fucking? Or if you're gonna fuck, be smart about it. It's not that hard. Let's see. President Potato is going to address the world this afternoon. Well, anyway. Let's see. Texas Attorney General says abortion now illegal in state and declares June 24 a holiday for his office. Let's see. In honor of nearly... So he says Roe v. Wade and its successor case, Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which is a whole other thing, has absolutely no base in the U.S. Constitution. Again, Roe v. Wade overturned has nothing to do with abortion. It's just saying, was that law constitutional? No, actually, all of the Supreme Courts, even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, said that Roe versus Wade was one of the worst decisions the Supreme Court ever happened. Because it was bad law, because there's nothing in the Constitution that says you have a right to an abortion. And that is the whole purpose of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court looked at the law and said, nope, there's nothing in the Constitution that says that. Have a good fucking day. That's what it's going to be. Americans have had to live under these illegitimate, illegal, and unconstitutional dictates of a partisan, willful Supreme Court. No more. Today, the question of abortion returns to the states. That's it. It returns to the states. And then in Texas, the question has already been answered. Abortion is legal here. I look forward to defending the pro-life laws of Texas and lives of unborn children moving forward. We cannot forget the extraordinary violence that Roe and Casey unleashed in our nation. Because of these decisions, almost 70 million babies have been killed in the womb. And so today at noon, I'm closing all my offices as a memorial for these babies. Our hearts and prayers go out to all of them. Never again should something like this happen in America. All I'm doing, I'm telling you what the facts are, Moose Gal. It's not the wrong people think they have the facts. I am talking about the actual facts. I'm not talking about opinion at all. It wasn't constitutional, so it went back to the states. That's it. All right. Half of the country could ban. Hey, guess what? Look. See, all these states, they could ban abortion. Okay? They could. Look at all these gray states. You can still get abortions. And I'm not even giving my opinion on this. I'm just saying, what are you going to do? You don't like the rules? You don't like the laws? Then vote. That's it. So let's look at the justice. So expect to be seeing a bunch of news and everything about people storming these people's houses and camping outside and threatening their family and everything. So 5 justices signed on to the majority opinion striking down the landmark decision. So Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, and Amy Coney Barrett. And then 3 justices dissented. So you had Stephen Breyer, Sotomayor, and Kagan. So 5-3. And this is what really gets me. This is what gets me. Things like this. This ruling opens door for reconsidering rights to gay marriage and contraception. Nobody said anything about fucking gay rights. You can get married. You can love whoever the fuck you want. Guess what? LGBTQIA plus, whatever it is now, not everything's about you. It has nothing to do with it. You can do what you want, but guess what? Here's the thing. If the state says they want to ban it, again, state law. You don't like it? Fucking vote. I don't know what happened where all the states and legislation and stuff all of a sudden gave up all of their power to the federal system. And how we have 9 people, not even legislation, not stuff that's passed through Congress or through the ways that the laws are actually supposed to be passed. Now we're working with judicial law. Where it's just like, oh, there's a state that tried this. We turned it down. So that is the end all be all. That's what this is proving, saying, no, you can't fucking do that anymore. It is not in the Constitution. Everything goes down to the states. People will say that I'm a conservative. I'm more of a libertarian conservative. I'm conservative in I want us to quit spending money and raising taxes and stuff. That's where I'm a conservative. But I'm a libertarian in the fact that leave me the fuck alone. I don't want people from all over the U.S. telling me how I should live my life. I vote in Texas. I do my stuff in Texas. I just want people to leave me the fuck alone. That's where I'm libertarian. I want to live my life. I want to have as many guns as I want. I want to be able to do whatever drugs I want. I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want as long as I'm not hurting anybody else. As long as I'm not hurting anybody else, leave me the fuck alone. So that's CNN. That's what CNN's reporting right now. let's see. Let's look at Fox News. Yeah, Fox News. Fox News, all those damn
Babe,
conservatives.
check out this house I found.
I'm tired of getting outbid.
Shut up.
Orchard is different.
All right, let's get rid of that ad. All right, let's look at what Fox News is saying. Oh, President Biden is making his speech right now. We're not watching that because I will say something that I will get in trouble for. All right, so there's protesters outside the Supreme Court react to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Ooh, look at that. They look really angry. The D.C. National Guard remains ready if assistance requested by the federal government. I don't understand how a judge is ruling on something that's constitutional, why we should have to call in National Guard. Oh, that's right. Because people are fucking infant children and they got to riot and they got to hit stuff and they're like, we're so mad. Arr, arr, arr. Shut the fuck up. Be an adult. Vote. Move the fuck on. Let's see. Democrats react swiftly to SCOTUS Roe versus Wade ruling, but will abortion upend the midterm elections? In the minutes after the Supreme Court's blockbuster opinion on Friday that overturned the nearly half-century-old landmark Roe v. Wade ruling that legalized abortion nationwide, Democrats instantly reacted. Today's Supreme Court ruling is a culmination of a coordinated Republican effort to attack this fundamental freedom. It's not a fundamental freedom. It's not in the fucking Constitution. Shut the fuck up! The Democrats will fight back with every tool we can, and voters of every political persuasion will hold the GOP accountable in 2022. It is not fundamental. This is where people are like, oh, our democracy is dying. We're not a democracy. We're a democratic Republican. We're a democratic republic. We don't rule with an iron fist. It's a republic. It's an understanding with people. We don't have dictators. I don't give a fuck what y'all say in Washington. Y'all don't actually control who the fuck I am and what I do. Here comes the fear-mongering. Make no mistake, the Republican Party will not stop at overturning Roe. The 2022 election will now determine whether new, cruel, and punishing restrictions will be put in place on women and families. They're making this about elections now. That's that fear-mongering. And it's not just one side. The right does it as well. The right pushes it well. That's why when they're like, oh, you get us in, we're going to do our Supreme Court nominees, we're going to overturn this. Guess what? Nobody fucking cares about you. Nobody cares about you. They are there to go to Congress, go to the House, go to the presidency, and make their fucking money. The grifters. If you can go and work in the House and Congress and meet a multi-millionaire off of a salary that's only $173,000, and they're like, oh, it's not enough. You know what I could do with $173,000 a fucking year? The danger now facing women in our country is real, and it is grave. Oh. In denying a woman the right to make her own decisions free from the interference of politicians, the Supreme Court has sent us back 50 years. No, you set us back when you said in a federal level, you took this to court. When you took us to court, it was not, nothing was about Roe v. Wade, was not about abortion, people. It's about privacy. AOC speaks out at the Supreme Court, says outlawing abortions will never make them go away. Nobody said. It only makes them more dangerous, especially for the poor plus marginalized. That's why you put all the Planned Parenthoods in poor neighborhoods, right? Because we care about poor people. And we will never stop until abortion rights are restored in the United States of America. You do not have abortion rights. Abortion is not a right. Find it in the Constitution, and then we'll discuss it. But until then, stop. This is the key right here that pisses me off so much. The Supreme Court's decision today ends recognition of a constitutional right to abortion and gives individual states the power to regulate and restrict the practice. It is nowhere in the Constitution. How does it, where is the recognition as abortion as a constitutional right? Where is it? Find it for me. Find it. Show me. Attorney General Merrick Garland says DOJ strongly disagrees with Supreme Court's decision. Who gives a fuck what you think? You're the DOJ. Your job is to enforce the law, not make the law. You can disagree all you want. That's the problem in today's world, in today's America. Even the laws are on the books. You're not following them. You're not upholding them. Yes, the person who started Planned Parenthood was a racist. She was a eugenicist. Margaret Sanger. Fact. So here's how the DOJ so politicized. The Supreme Court has eliminated an established right that has been an essential component of women's liberty for half a century, a right that safeguards women's ability to participate fully and equally in society. So, because you can't kill babies, you can't be equal in society? That's kind of sexist of you, Merrick Garland. Are you saying that women are only equal when they pop out babies? You sexist. And is renouncing this fundamental right, which is not a fundamental right, which it had repeatedly recognized and reaffirmed. No, it has not. The court has upended the doctrine of stare decisis, a key pillar of the rule of law. The Justice Department strongly disagrees with the court decision. This decision deals a devastating blow to reproductive freedom in the United States. You still have reproductive freedom, people. And guess what? I am going to open this up if somebody wants to come up and discuss. I'm just saying what the Constitution says and all that stuff. You still have reproductive rights. Nobody's implanting babies in you. Nobody's forcefully ripping them out. You still have the choice. It will have an immediate and irreversible impact on the lives of people across the country, and it will be greatly disproportionate in its effect, with the greatest burden felt by people of color and those of limited financial means. Wow. It's almost as if, like, not only are they racist, saying that people of a certain color or ethnic groups can't control themselves, but it's also saying it's also classist. I don't know. Caste, the different castes, like classes, like poor, middle class. It's almost as if you're like, they're too stupid to be able to take responsibility and control their life. It's weird. It's like they're saying poor people, all they do is like, fuck. Oh, that's right, because a lot of poor people depend on the government, and the more kids you have, the more you get paid. And you're like, oh, that's not true. Look it up. We're not going to read that. Oh, yeah. The Squad's Ilhan Omar slams Supreme Court decision, compares the decision legitimizing slavery. Back to race and slavery. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Where'd it go?
Babe, check out this house I found.
Shut up.
It's hard to get
Shut up, ads. The reversal of Roe will be recorded in the history books as the same nauseous tones as decisions like Dred Scott, Korematsu, Plessy, and Buck. This in an institution that has legitimized slavery, concentration camps, and eugenics. Oh, eugenics? You mean what Planned Parenthood was founded on? Oh, look, I'm pissing people off. People are leaving. It's okay. It's okay. This decision is the same. It's all about race. If they can, left and right, they're going to equate anything to race, slavery, oppression, everything, because they don't like how it went. I think, and let's see what past President Potato says. He says, Barack Obama. Today, the Supreme Court not only reversed nearly 50 years of precedent, it relegated the most intensely personal decision someone can make to the whims of politicians and ideologues, attacking the essential freedoms of millions of Americans. No, they did not. They put it back to the states. So instead of a federal mandate across all states with people that don't agree, and you're forcing somebody, now you are taking that away from the federal and putting it back to the states where it should have been in the first place. Fear-mongering. I love politics, but I hate politics so much. I love it, but I hate it. Uh-oh. People are messaging saying I may have gone too far. Telling me to be careful. We'll see. Because we're not done yet. We're not done yet, my friends. Oh, no. So that's it for Fox News. Now let's go to where the fair and balanced news is. MSNBC. Well, let's just go. We're not watching Lester Holt. All right. Anybody else offended yet, or are we just good having discussions and seeing what the news is? Because we're still going to have discussion. I just want to get this stuff out first and see where everybody is coming from. So according to MSNBC, that peacock. That's right, Mike. The Civil War was fought over states' rights. It wasn't about. Now, there are things like if state rights, they're still able to. But in the Constitution, that the constitutional amendment is what banned slavery. It wasn't state law. All right, so Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, doing away with half a century of precedent. The ruling came in dispute over a law passed by Mississippi Republican-controlled legislature to ban abortions after 15 weeks. So, Supreme Court on Friday overturned the landmark Roe v. Wade ruling that guaranteed a constitutional right to an abortion. There is no constitutional right for abortions. Again, these are those trigger words. It's an attack on our democracy. This is a constitutional right. No, it is not. No, it is not. We are not a democracy, and you don't have a constitutional right to abortion. A momentous break from a half-century of rulings on one of the nation's most controversial issues. About half the states have already indicated they would move to ban the procedure. Supporters of abortion rights were bracing for the loss after an early draft of opinion was leaked in May. Yes, when that opinion was leaked in May, guess what? Within a day, there were people blocking roads. They were at the Supreme Court houses. And this is why The Supreme Court never has leaks and stuff, doesn't release stuff like that. Because the Supreme Court, their whole job is to find out if stuff is constitutional or not. They don't make law. They rule on laws, say, is it constitutional or not? That's it. That is it. But then, in today's society, as I said, there are people that are fucking children, can't act like adults, because they don't get their way. They're going to stomp their feet. I'm going to cry, and I'm going to burn fucking houses down and shit. I hate it. Oh, we're going to talk about different abortion laws, Mike. We'll get there. Just stop. Let's see. Here we go. Here is the answer. Here's the answer. And people may not like it, but this is the whole job. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. The Constitution makes no reference to abortion, and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision, including the one on which the defenders of Roe and Casey now chiefly rely, the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. That's it. You can hate the justices all you want, left or right. You can hate them. The fact of the matter is, their job is to find out if it's in the Constitution, if it's constitutional. The fact of the matter is, the law that was made is not in the Constitution. Everybody made it about abortion. It was about the 14th Amendment and the Due Process Clause and somebody's right to privacy. It had nothing to say about abortion. Period. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives, the states. If you don't like it, vote. It's that simple. It's going back to the states. Nobody is saying, I don't know how many times I can say the same thing. All right, let's see. Biden and lawmakers react. President Joe Biden said in remarks from the White House, it's a sad day for the court and a sad day for the country. It's not a sad day for the court. They're doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. It's a sad day because you don't like the decision, because people like activist judges and they can't get anything through legislation because there's too much infighting. You can't actually pass a law, so y'all are depending on the judicial system to make law for you. Guess what? If you're disappointed, you don't follow the Constitution. Just like yesterday's decision on the Second Amendment in New York. Oh, well, you can't have concealed carry. We're going to restrict. And the Supreme Court said, you know what? That's not in the Constitution. Everybody has a right to carry self-defense. So New York, sorry for you. And guess what? They said the exact same thing. Oh, I'm very disappointed in the court. Then pass a fucking law through Congress. But that's the thing. All these people in Congress, we're making it to where we don't have to have them do their fucking job. Show me a law that was passed recently that actually made an impact that wasn't from the judicial system. When have they passed? They can't even pass a budget, much less a law that helps rule the land. They're disappointed in the court. Guess what? We're disappointed in you, lawmakers. Your reaction should be, oh shit, maybe we should get our ass in gear and actually do our fucking job that we're collecting a paycheck from all these taxpayers. Oh, I forgot, you're millionaires. You don't give a shit. So let's listen to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. In the statement, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called the ruling outrageous and heart-wrenching and suggested at a news conference that the Trump-appointed justices who joined in the majority decision had lied when they told senators during their confirmation hearings that they respected the precedents of past ruling. Yes, they do respect the precedent of past ruling. The problem is past ruling and everything was not constitutional. Today, the Republican-controlled Supreme Court has achieved the GOP's dark and extreme goal of ripping away women's rights. It's funny you say ripping when you're talking about abortion. To make their own reproductive health decisions. No, they're not. Because of Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and the Republican Party, man, he's been out of office for like a hot minute now, and it's still. And their super majority on the Supreme Court, American women today have less freedom than their mothers. Really? Okay. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said Friday was one of the darkest days of our country has ever seen. Really? More than like 9/11? Pearl Harbor? And according to y'all, January 6th, the darkest day ever? It was darker than all those days? Millions upon millions of American women are having their rights taken from them by 5 unelected justices on the extremist MAGA court. Dun, 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 dun. This is killing me. See, because if it went the other way, they'd be praising. But because they don't get their way, all of a sudden it's extremists. No, what's extremist is not following the Constitution. That's it. Their job is not to interpret the Constitution. Well, it is to interpret the Constitution. But with something that is so profound, if it's not in the Constitution, that's where they make their rulings. Republicans praise decision, so they're the worst thing ever. So yeah, now for the fun part. Now it's time to, I don't know, you may be, Angie, but it's okay. We're just having discussions. But now it's time to dive into the darkest recesses of life in America. We are going on to Twitter. We're going on to Twitter. Let's see what's going on in Twitter. So let's just, Roe versus Wade is trending. So let's look it up and let's look at the top ones. Y'all can make abortions illegal, but turn a blind eye to a motherfucker that walks into school and shoot it up. Okay. All right. Let's listen to the Bible says. Turks.
Like, I feel like it's a clown show, like sitting here trying to decipher what your little mythical book has to say about these very real political issues, right? I don't care if you're Christian. In fact, I will fight for you to have your religious liberty and practice your Christianity. I believe in that. I don't believe in Christianity, which means that you do not get to dictate the way I live my life based on your religion. I don't care what the Bible says. You have every right in the world. All those women who identify with your religion have every right in the world to not get an abortion, to not take birth control, but they do not have the right to dictate my life and what I decide to do with my body. I don't care about your goddamn religion. I'm so tired of having nonstop conversations about what what the Bible says. You live your life in the way that you interpret.
Well, she's pleasant. oh, oh. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Their mood. Hashtag Roe versus Wade. I bow to no law made by men who never bore a child. You mean like most of the laws on the books that before like women were in Congress and laws that you follow? I don't know. Let's see. The story of forced birth is a little nightmare, and it foreshadows what so many others will face with Roe v. Wade now overturned. People will die. People will die. Physically, but also mentally and emotionally, and it'll affect generations to come in unthinkable ways. Guess what, people? Personal responsibility. There's nothing good about this day. If men could get pregnant, you could get an abortion at an ATM. No. That would be kind of out in the open. That would be against your right to privacy. Public cervix announcement. Fuck you. We dissent. Good. Dissent all you want. But guess what? It's the law. If Roe falls, people in the South will turn to a network of grassroots organizations and advocacy groups led by Black women that has emerged out of necessity to fill gaps in healthcare coverage and society safety net. Okay? Again, always comparing to mass shootings. Prepare. Oh, yes. Prepare for battle. Prepare for battle, people. The moment Roe falls, every woman and girl in this country who values being able to make decisions about her own body should stop working in the largest coordinated protest in U.S. history and brings the entire nation economy to a standstill. They'd re-implement it in a week. No, they will not. Resist. We just got to let's look at the latest. Abortion is a fact of life and always has been. Nobody likes it, but it's an intensely personal decision that only a woman should have the right to make. True. I don't feel safe being homeless in California as a Republican. The next few days may be pretty scary. Yeah, I would hide. Being overturned has given me hope for the future of the country. Hope that the left is losing the culture war. Let's see. Considering that the right to decide by state is in jeopardy, and that means taking the right completely away from people, I think I might vote blue. I'd rather have higher gas prices than lose rights. Ooh, dogs are barking. This is where you have the real acceptance and tolerance. If you stand for Roe v. Wade being overturned, kill yourself, smiley face. Hold on just 1 second. Let me find out what's wrong with these dogs. Hold on. Sorry about that. UPS was dropping off a package. All right. So there are people, I will aid and abet anybody needing an abortion. I don't know. Land of the free on the way to court. You know why all these people with riot shields have to go to court? Because y'all can't simply protest. Y'all have to get violent. Just like this person right here. I say we fucking riot. Show these old fucking white men what the fuck it feels like to be in control of their own bodies taken away. This is how the world is looking right now. By the way, there's women on that court, and there's black people and Hispanics on the court. So it's not, I don't know. Breaking. Disney offers aid to employees after Roe v. Wade is overturned. Do they have like counseling? I mean, most of the people that work at Disney, they're trying to fuck kids, so they don't have to worry about it. I'm just joking. Allegedly. I can't even put into words how scared, angry, upset, and empty I feel right now. If something like this makes you feel empty, all the people who are celebrating taking away other people's fucking human right, what human right? To their body shit will rot in whatever hell they believe in. Why can't people literally just let fucking people live their own damn lives? That's what we're saying in the states, and not having federal mandates that aren't constitutional. Okay.
For the child, a consequence. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child of incest as a consequence of incest.
There we go. There we go.
No option.
Got to bring it up.
Too often the case. The poor women are going to be hit the hardest. It's cruel. In fact, the court laid out state laws criminalizing abortion that go back to the 1800s as rationale. The court
I've been in Congress and stuff that long.
Taking America back 150 years. This is a sad day for the country, in my view. But it doesn't mean the fight's over. Let me be very clear and unambiguous. The only way we can secure a woman's right to choose, the balance that existed, is for Congress to restore the protections of Roe v. Wade as federal law. No executive action from the president can do that.
Good luck.
And if Congress, as it appears, lacks the votes to do that now, voters need to make their voices heard.
Yes, vote.
We must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law once again. Elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land. We need to elect officials who will do that. This fall, Roe is on the ballot. Personal freedoms are on the ballot.
Oh my God, fucking President Potato. I can't even fucking listen to you. Jesus Christ. Oh. Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I think we're good. We just showed kind of like what's going on in the world, looking at it from all perspectives. All perspectives. And I don't understand. Because on both sides of the aisle, both sides of the news and everything, people just don't, they're not, they're looking at it through a biased lens. They don't actually know what this actually means. It hurts. It hurts that there are some people that are, I'm not saying stupid, but willful ignorance. Where if CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, Facebook, Twitter says it, it's gospel and law. And they don't even read. They don't even understand what is actually being discussed. It hurts. It hurts that people are willing to riot and hurt other people because of belief that somebody told them they should have, and they don't even know. Talk to some of these people. Ask them, what do you know? And you better have facts behind. You better know your facts. You better know what's going on if you're going to ask. Because then when people are like, oh, no, this, you can be like, literally, that is 100% inaccurate. Trying to open the eyes of other people. The media, that's why YouTube is so big now. Because everybody's stop listening to the media, and they're going to find what they support, and they're going to watch those people. And that's where they're going to get the news. And it's the same principle. That's why I tried to show all sides, all what the media is saying, even Twitter and everything. That's what I tried to do today. And if anybody wants to come up and discuss, again, we are certified drama free. We're going to discuss. We'll have opinions, but that's about it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share out this link. And then I have to go and unlock the gate because the guy's here to cut the grass and all that stuff. And I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to get a refill of water. And let me put it. Here we go. There is the link. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break, guys. I will be right back. The discussion has just begun. See you in a second.
I get no from the top. I get underestimate the way I break through the gate. I'll never take the bait. If they think it's still coming up, but I'm blowing up. You can call it what I'm messing up. There's no free ticket, no free ride, no plan B, this is do or die. You didn't get here overnight. Success was trying to fight, but I got this hate a crowd. A story you read about picture perfect after I got the people that kept me bleeding out. One thing will the industry hates me. Opposite of an industry, baby. Put me in the kitchen, now we're babies. Over that, without they don't play me. Listen, don't play missing. Millions of people still listening. Now our fans are the only reason we're still here. We're still praising. I can know up from the top. I can know up, but I'm never gonna stop. No resistance, only resistance. I can know up, but I'm never gonna stop. I can know up from the top. I can know up, but I'm never gonna stop. No resistance, only resistance. I can know up, but I'm never gonna stop. I've been working all day and night for the past 20 years to get this right. The future felt unstable and stuck on a record label. The final nail in the coffin. The Grim Reaper knocking. We almost got it. It feels like every artist has to face some sort of identity crisis. But we've been the same since we were the sun down out that rising. I can know up from the top. I can know up, but I'm never gonna stop. No resistance, only resistance. I can know up, but I'm never gonna stop. I can know up from the top. I can know up, but I'm bottom of the cup, and I'm afraid to say that the future isn't looking up. I can see the storm clouds starting to relent. The sun is shining down. It's about to be an end. We can wait around until the fire burns down. We can save ourselves. There's greener pastures lying ahead for me. There's something better out there, and I owe it to myself to see. And I don't need to wait any longer to feel the danger that's been coming my way. There's greener pastures lying ahead for me. Gotta get out of this zone before it's too late. The sky is fading ashes. It's time to escape. We can wait around until the fire burns out. We can save ourselves. There's greener pastures lying ahead for me. There's something better out there, and I owe it to myself.
Okay, we're back. Oh, and I came back and I left my water over there. Hold on. No, I didn't. Right here. All right. So, no, if people want to come up, Angie, if you want to come up and talk, this is not about chewing somebody up or doing all that stuff. It's just let's have a discussion, see where other people's point of views are. And that's where I think YouTube should be, is people's opinions and sharing opinions, and fucking, you don't have to agree on everything. But what we're not going to do is do like YouTube riots. We're not doing any of that stuff. What's up, Robert? But, oh man, Axis here. I would like to hear a Canadian's point of view. Canada. Let's see. My camera is being wonky. But anyway. So let's find out. Let's find out somebody's point of view. We got Robert is here. Let's bring Robert up and let's see his point of view on what's going on today. What is up, Robert?
Hey, not much. Just here chilling.
So the world is going crazy. Well, America is going crazy today. Roe v. Wade overturned. What do you think? Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice or whatever, what do you think about the ruling today?
I think it's ridiculous, actually, and it needs to stop. The prices, they need to go down.
Inflation.
People, committing crimes and stuff, that needs to go. That needs to end.
But what about Roe v. Wade?
I know
what about abortion? What do you think about the ruling today?
Abortion? I'm not for abortion. I think it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. And that's perfectly fine. I wouldn't even say I'm anti-abortion, because I'm not. I am anti-abortion at like 24 weeks. I'm anti-abortion past like the first trimester. Anything like, there are legit laws of the land that, how long is gestation? 40 weeks? 40 weeks? Yeah, 39 weeks. There are states that allow people to get an abortion at 39 weeks. Wow. Like that's, to me, that's horrible. So late-term abortion, I'm against it. Early abortion, I'm trying not to be a hypocrite about it. I think people should have responsibility for their actions.
Right.
I think if you don't want to have kids, you should try everything from contraception to if you can't afford kids, you shouldn't be affording to fuck either. Okay.
Right.
Just if you don't want to have kids, don't fuck. There's other ways of having fun. But I am against mid to late term abortions. And I just like Angie, I'm against using abortion as a form of birth control. I mean, if you are going and you have if you're a woman and you have a crazy night out, guess what? Plan B the next day. But in today's world, if you can't kill a 39-week-old gestated baby, you're like, oh my God, y'all are the devil. I don't know. And we have more people down in the basement. We have Chatio and we have Mike.
All right.
Let's go ahead.
I've got a
What's
few
up,
minutes.
guys?
Got a
What's
few
up, guys?
minutes. I just looked up the law in Colorado. Up to 26 weeks or medically
How many months is that? How many months is 26 weeks?
Is that over 6 months? 6 months and 2 weeks, and they can do up to 34 months. I'm looking at this like this is
34 weeks.
Up to
Yeah,
at the latest.
that's
or
ridiculous. A baby can live
medically-
outside of the womb at that time.
Yeah.
So it's murder.
And if a woman wants to come up here, because this is just going to be a bunch of guys, the patriarchy that's just telling
Come on,
people
Angie.
how the
Here,
world should be.
Eileen.
But I would
Yeah.
like to get some females' perspective on this as well. But I am.
Well, that's what Robert's here for.
Hey.
Oh, that's good.
But here's the thing. Again, first trimester. Each trimester is 3 months long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I know there are people that don't have regular cycle. No, I'm not saying people. Women. I don't buy into this. Guys have periods too thing. Women that can have babies that have vaginas and uteruses. If you don't know, I know that there are people that don't have regular cycles or any of that stuff. But if you go 3 months and don't have a cycle and you've been fucking getting laid by pipe, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know I was pregnant, you should not be having sex.
Mm-hmm.
You are too dumb to procreate. That I know there's like the first 6 weeks and people are talking about once the heartbeat is there, I understand that there could be 2 months, maybe somebody doesn't have regular cycles. But after that, and you're like, there's something off. I'm gaining weight for some reason. Oh, I'm kind of sick in the morning. Oh, I have these weird cravings. If you are too stupid to understand you might be pregnant and you don't get a test, you are a fucking idiot.
First trimester, man. Come on. You don't know 3 months in that you're pregnant?
Really?
Your tits have fucking grown a full cup size?
All right.
Well, all I'm saying, I don't want to use it as a form of birth control, but I don't see the big issue in the first couple months as abortion. Yes, I know people are like, well, you're pro-life and life start. I understand that.
I don't think a lot of people understand pro-life is not we're not exactly pro-life. We're not like one of them fucking Bible thumpers saying just no abortions ever.
Yeah.
Fucking,
we're not forcing people to have children, but
when you're 6 or 9 months pregnant, there was even a law at one point in California where you could abort a baby after it was born if it was done in a certain amount of time. That's fucking murder, dude.
Angie's coming.
good, because then I don't want people to be like, oh, it's just a bunch of guys up here talking about it.
Yeah, a bunch of guys
we're the
and
ones
Robert.
that made the law. We're the ones that made the law.
Hey,
Yeah, a bunch of old white men.
It kills me. And then just to see people you take away my constitutional right. You never had a constitutional right to abortion.
But isn't it funny how they always try to take away our constitutional right to free speech and guns and shit like that, but then they make up constitutional rights that don't exist to begin with when it comes to like abortion and stuff.
It's crazy.
I'm sick of it.
I just don't understand. And with all the fear mongering and stuff, as I went through those different news stories and what these people are talking about. Oh, Cindy is here too. Cindy, we need you.
Come up.
Cindy.
Yeah. We need a bounce.
I've been going for an hour and a half.
I know
we went through all the news stories. We went through everything. We went through Twitter. Now we're just talking.
Oh, Shernette's
Shernette's here.
Oh, and Shernette is around too. Oh, so we have Angie here.
Oh, and Eileen's here. Now we got like some.
Well, hello, Angie.
That's what the problem is.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Okay, Angie. As the first woman,
Yeah.
it's funny. Cindy was like, Rut-row. And you're like, Rut-row, Raggy.
I said you guys spit me out, man.
No.
All right, Angie.
Cindy
So can I get your point of view on this as a woman's point of view? Let's talk about your views on this. and if you don't agree with me, that's perfectly fine. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't agree with me, we will riot.
We're gonna burn this bitch down.
I can hold my own baby, so that's all right.
Cool.
No.
All right.
See, I'm like
Split.
it's gray for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I worked with a girl. Well, I don't know if I said it in the chat or not, but she wouldn't go on the pill because it would break her face out. But in the time frame that I knew her, which was like 8 years, maybe, she had 10 abortions.
Wow.
So she was using that as birth control. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I do agree in the case of rape and incest. Fuck yeah. I mean,
Which is what, 1.8%?
It is 1.8%. Yep.
But again,
but I know it's not the majority.
But I'm saying, do you make that decision in the first couple months? Because trust me, if it's rape and incest, you're checking that, not 8 months into it.
Oh my God, no. I don't agree with mid or late term abortions either. You make up your mind. You find out you're pregnant and you don't want it. You make up your mind then. You don't wait and I don't know. I mean,
now it's an inconvenience to me.
Right. No, I don't agree with that either.
No.
So Shernette wants a recap real quick on my opinion before we continue. So my opinion is, one, the overturn of Roe versus Wade, which is about the 14th Amendment, had nothing to do with abortion. Women do not have a constitutional right to abortion. It is not a constitutional right, period. Abortion, I am pro-life as a aspect of if it's within the first couple months, trimester, and you find out, then I'm not saying that abortions can't happen. But I am completely against mid and late term abortions. I'm sorry, the guy's outside weed eating, so if y'all can hear that, I apologize. But I do not believe that abortion is a form of birth control. And if you cannot afford to have a baby and you can't afford a 39-cent condom or fucking being on the pill or plan B, then you should keep your legs shut.
Closed. Yeah. And
I know people like to fuck. I get it. But if you don't want to have kids, then you can't really not, you need to take responsibility for actions. But I'm not saying forcing somebody to carry a baby. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But remember when abortion was when Roe v. Wade came out, when they talked about Roe v. Wade, they talked about it's supposed to be rare. It's supposed to be rare. That's for that like 1.8%. It's not supposed to be used as a contraception. But in America is no longer rare. Now we have people that are singing from the mountaintops. I've had 10 abortions and I'm a hero. No, you're a whore.
Right.
Right.
But that's kind of my view. The overturn Roe v. Wade, I agree with the overturn Roe v. Wade because it was not constitutional law.
I think it depends.
It has nothing to do with my personal opinions on abortion. The fact of the matter is the overturn of Roe v. Wade is, well, that's true. Keep your dick in your pants if you don't want to have kids. And again, but here's the thing.
Condom.
All the women say, my body, my choice. If I don't have a say in what happens, because you don't have to tell me anything, and I don't know. I'm just saying it's a touchy subject, but you say the same goes for men. The same does not go for men because we don't have a decision in the outcome based off the 14th Amendment and the woman's right to privacy. So if I have an equal right, if I'm a guy, and again, this is not argument. We're not trying to cause any arguments or anything, but if I am a guy, which I am, and I have sex and she gets pregnant, is it my responsibility to take care? Absolutely it is. But if I don't have an equal say, if she decided the next day to go to an abortion clinic or the next week or month or whatever and goes and gets an abortion and I have no say in it, guess whose responsibility it actually falls on? Not the guy, because I have no say in what happens. The law says I don't.
Yeah. Well,
so who bears the big brunt of the responsibility?
The woman.
Well, banning alcohol would prevent a lot of things. Yes, vasectomies are reversible. You can get snipped and until you're ready to have kids. Well, it's not as reversible as people think it is. It's about a 67% success rate for the reverse.
If you're gonna have 10 abortions, why not have a hysterectomy, dude? Like,
but what I'm saying is, you can't say, well, it falls the same on a man because the man does not have the same rights.
Yeah, no.
He has no say in it. But it is a man's job to, if she does get pregnant, to take care of her and the baby and do all that stuff. But if she makes the decision, that is her decision. It's not something that we have a choice in. So as much as I hate to say it, no, the brunt falls on women.
Yes, if
in
you're
my
gonna
opinion,
carry a
in my
baby,
opinion. Oh shit, Angie! I just saw the look on Angie. Angie is gonna, she's gonna have a different opinion. Let me see, Angie. What was that look for?
I shouldn't be up here.
No, you're good.
Yeah, it's all right. You're all right. It's all right.
It doesn't fall just on women. It falls on human beings. I mean, it's all about human beings taking accountability and being fucking responsible. Nobody's responsible.
See, that's not happening in today's world.
Accountability.
What's that? But that's
it's everybody else's fault.
Exactly.
I had to get abortions because I'm poor, and well, if you're so poor, then why are you going around sleeping with people? Well, is that all y'all do? Keep yourself entertained? Like, I can't afford an Xbox Series X. I need to fuck for entertainment. I don't understand.
Go to Walgreens, get a box of condoms. Done.
Right.
But yeah, I believe it all boils down to accountability. And watch, I'm going to lose so many subscribers just from doing this show today.
Can I just want to, I'm not arguing, but the hysterectomy comment, first of all,
that's extreme. That's extreme.
A hysterectomy is not reversible like a vasectomy is. Second, a woman who may have been raped or whatever, she does not, it's a traumatic experience. She may make the decision to terminate that pregnancy in the first trimester, but she may meet somebody down the road and she may want to have kids. So it's not the same, and it was kind of an.
No, he said the hysterectomy. He was talking about the chick with the 10 abortions.
Yeah, I was talking like if you have 10 abortions,
get pregnant again.
Why not just have a freaking hysterectomy?
A hysterectomy is massively different than like getting the guy snip, vasectomy, and all that stuff, because then you have all those different hormones and stuff that gets thrown off. I understand that
Yeah.
that's an extreme thing. I believe it was more a hyperbole comment than it is an actual like. We should open up people's bellies and take their uterus. That's not what. I don't think that's what he really meant.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you have 10 abortions, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Very
Yeah.
fertile, and
I agree.
Fertile Myrtle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways there in 2022. There is no reason. I'm sure there's a 1% that it happens, but there's no reason if you want to be a consenting adult and be having sex. There's no reason why you would get pregnant. I mean, there are so many options out there for birth control that are, most of them are almost foolproof. So in my opinion, it's, I don't understand, how
Condoms.
oh my God, I'm pregnant. Oh, geez.
Condoms, birth control, Plan B.
Right. I mean, if you're going to be responsible enough to have sex, then you better be responsible enough to think ahead and plan, your life, because, a half an hour of fun, you could be like what Axe and Nache said, you could be committed for 18 years then.
Yep.
This is true, but that's the thing. It's the aspect of when do we stop treating people as children, and when do we start treating them as adults with accountability?
When they stop acting like children.
Well,
Right.
in today's society, we have people that are 60, 70 years old in Congress that still act like children. So it's, the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, how do I say this?
You don't got to sugarcoat it because I'm here now. Go ahead, let her rip.
Yeah.
Oh no, I sugarcoat it so I don't lose everybody on my channel.
Right.
I have some. Oh, I don't know.
If you are a guy and you stick
It's
your
true.
dick in, at that moment you are deciding 18 years minimum.
Yeah.
You're making that decision. But in today's society, people think it's just fun, and it's not. And then you're like, well, a woman, it's the same thing. Yes, same thing. Ladies, we always ask for anal. We ask to do anal. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm trying to miss the 18-year commitment, okay?
There's not enough blowjobs going around. That's what's
Oh
causing
my
all these
God.
unwanted pregnancies.
Which
Oh my
which
God.
one's more painful?
I shouldn't have said don't sugarcoat it.
It's a joke. I'm not saying no, Shernette, hold on. I am not saying I'm not giving rules to anybody.
Yeah.
I'm saying these are your options. Don't say that we have to mandate that abortions up to the third trimester have to be legal. I'm not putting rules on whether she's pregnant or not. The fact of the matter is, it's personal responsibility. If people are not responsible enough, or they're not making that clear decision, why is it? I don't want to put any restrictions on anybody. As I said, I'm a conservative libertarian. Leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I gotta
But
ask,
people need to take responsibility for
if
their
you're gonna-
actions.
If you're going to take a baby to 8 or 9 months, why get an abortion? Like, there's plenty of people that'll pay you like $20,000 for your baby.
Yep.
And you like, why not get paid and get rid of the baby? There's the same,
Well, I mean, close your legs if you're not ready for kids seems like a form of BS rules. No, that's just facts of life. If you don't have a dick with sperm in your vagina, you can't get pregnant.
The facts.
Right.
That's not a rule. That's just biology. If he doesn't go skeet, 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 you're not going to hear for 18 years. That's not. I'm not setting a rule. That's just.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to offend
Yeah,
anybody. I'm just saying
accountability and
that's biology.
responsibility is for both men and women. I mean, notice I said human beings.
Yep.
Roe v. Wade doesn't take abortion off of the table, and that's
Nope.
what they're making it sound like.
Yep.
They're saying
No, it just
that
allows the states
it's
to take it
illegal.
off the table.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
states should
and
be allowed
Cyrus-
to govern themselves.
Yeah. Yep.
And Cyrus, I completely agree. You can take every precaution in the world,
That is
and
true, Cyrus.
and you can still get pregnant, except if you don't have a dick that nuts anywhere near your vagina, you can't get pregnant. You are not fucking Mary. You're not an immaculate conception. So if you're not ready to have kids, I love you, but you shouldn't be fucking.
Just work on your pull-out game, boys.
I have something to say about.
I have a feeling people are like on their keyboards like this motherfucker right here. I'm just telling you how biology works. Contraception is not 100% effective. Nor is it 100% effective. If you want a kid, don't have someone nut in your vagina. Period.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It
Don't
is
have somebody
99%
almost
effective,
nut
bro.
in your
Or
vagina.
don't nut into somebody's vagina.
Yeah.
See, you
This
got
is a
you
guy's
have
thing
to
too.
show it from both
Yeah,
sides.
I understand that, but we were talking about this is about women. This is the women's rule and law that everybody's writing about, saying it's a woman's right to choose. If I, don't have a right to choose
gets
anything,
pregnant from a man. So
not in today's world. Not in today's world.
It takes.
I'm just joking.
It takes two.
Mr. Net, it already kind of is. Because, you know, look at all these people on welfare with all these children.
Oh my God.
No, if the woman does not want the child, she should have made that decision before that time, before it's mid to late term abortion, and also then she can put it up for adoption. There are many different ways. We're not forcing people like, oh, you made a bad decision, so you have to raise this kid for 18 years. There's a lot of different things.
Right.
And I'm just saying, my whole aspect on today's, okay, if anal is a viable option, so if guys want to have sex, he needs to enjoy getting up the ass first. Hey, that's where the prostate is. Don't knock it till you try it 6 or 7 times. All right,
Man. 6 or 7 times.
I mean, you
Let's
have to-
try
you
it
have to
one
make
more
sure.
time just to make sure I don't like it.
How can we stop men
I'm on
from
the
nutting
fence.
us?
I don't
It's very
know.
simple. If you are sitting there thinking, how can I stop men from nutting us? You are speaking with the wrong people. If you are worried, like, how do I stop? Because men are pigs. Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah.
But and I understand all of that aspect. But if you are with somebody that is doing, if you're having sex with somebody, and I know everybody's like, this is fun, but if you are not willing to make a commitment with that person, you should not be sleeping with them in the first place. And you're like, how do we stop men from nutting them? If you don't trust the person that you're fucking to be a father of your child, then you should not have him in you.
Right.
Let's be honest, though. Most pregnancies aren't because contraception didn't work. It's like 99% effective. It's
Yeah.
from people just out there fucking without any condoms or anything. Like,
Oh no, pull out does not work. Pull out is an ineffective way. The fact of the matter is, if you get something in your vagina and it has the possibility of nutting, and you're not doing contraception, you're not doing anything, and you are saying, I have to, it's not my responsibility, you're wrong. That is your responsibility. So I don't downplay anybody's opinions. If you have an abortion or you have had an abortion, again, I don't fault you for it. Again, it plays a huge mental toll on the woman, one way or the other. I know people that had an abortion and regret it dearly, and all that stuff. I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Oh yeah.
I'm not anti-abortion, by the way. Just like I said, I just think it should be done in the first trimester.
Yeah, I didn't even know until I looked it up. I was like in the basement, like how late it was here, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
24.
when the baby can live outside of the womb,
Yeah.
then come on, man. You just, what's the difference between having a C-section or an abortion, and then giving the baby to somebody that wants it when it can live outside of the womb?
Yep.
You're literally just killing somebody.
I mean, my nieces were born at 28 weeks, and they're itty bitty, but still, it was like, gosh, state law states 4 weeks prior to that.
I agree with
They
women's
changed their mind. I
rights.
was like, damn.
But like, what about the
Everybody agrees
baby's
with women's
rights?
rights.
What about baby's
they're-
rights, though?
All I'm saying is you are making a conscious decision to do an act. That act can have consequences. The reaction of those consequences doesn't necessarily mean that your life is over. But we were talking about before I had to move the dogs. It has mental anguish on the female, the woman. I know people that had abortions and they are it bothers them to this day. And they're like, I feel like I shouldn't have done that. There are other people that don't have that. But we talk about women's rights. What about the guys' rights? Because it also plays mental anguish on the men as well.
Guys don't have rights anymore.
Let's not get extreme. Let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
But I'm saying when it comes to this, guys' rights, he was. What's up, driver sensei? He was being facetious. It's hyperbole. He's not actually saying people.
I don't know, but hey, I'm gonna piss off a whole lot of people.
No, don't intentionally piss.
I'm not trying to, but I'm saying like I make a joke and then everybody's like, "Oh, fuck this guy."
But all I'm saying is there's responsibility on both sides, and people have to take responsibility for their actions.
Cindy, we've been over this.
That goes
it's like
both ways.
1.8%. It's like you're talking about 1% versus 99%. Everybody, I don't think anybody in this planet disagrees with an abortion, that was due to incest or rape or anything like that. That's what they make it about. They make the 99% about that when it's really only like 1 or 2% tops.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm just saying it's a touchy subject. But you know what? I was tired of beating around the bush, and I just wanted to have the discussion.
There you go.
And every woman has their own right to choose. They do what they want.
Right.
But everybody's up in arms because Roe v. Wade is taken down, and all it's saying is it's going back to the states because it was bad constitutional law, because it wasn't constitutional law, because it wasn't constitutional. It was not in the Constitution.
Unless you're like fucking Amish or something like that. I don't think anybody has ever said a woman doesn't have the right, like women's rights. Who's against women's rights? Honestly.
I would say, but I don't want to offend anybody.
Guys, I gotta bounce back in the chat. I gotta get some work.
There are some people out there still that are
It's
against
just
women's
seeing how
rights.
guys are making decisions about women's actions.
I haven't seen them. They're few and
What-
far between. They gotta be.
What guys are making decisions about women's actions? I'm just speaking my opinion.
Well,
Later,
there weren't
See you
just
guys.
guys on the Supreme Court. Let me tell you.
Uh-oh. Cheerio left.
Yeah, he had to go. He had to go back to work.
Oh, okay.
See you, Chatio.
Cheerio.
But no, I mean there
There are
is-
women on the Supreme Court. So-
There is a choice. There's people's opinions, and people can have their opinions on what they see. We looked at what the media is putting out, the media's opinions. We looked at Twitter. I spoke my opinion. People came and spoke their opinion. People are able to do what they want. Again, conservative, libertarian. Just leave me the fuck alone. The fact of the matter is that in today's society, people don't take responsibility. And again, I am not saying that abortion should be banned. I never said that. I don't like mid to late term abortions. I don't like that. I don't think it's right. And yes, we talked about incest and rape. Again, 1.8% of people that have abortions are from incest and rape. That is a high number. It's too high. It's too high.
Since when did killing a baby become such a sense of empowerment?
I don't know.
That's what I don't understand.
Because it's a living being, I guess, and it's so small.
I wish men would come with more facts, not just the keep your legs closed. Take that funding and out
I'm
where
freezing
it
over
needs
here.
to be for proper education towards Planned Parenthood. Well, I mean, Planned Parenthood is What does Planned Parenthood do?
Give girls the pills so they won't get pregnant.
Apparently, they're not giving them enough pills. They give more abortions than they do birth
contraception. They
control.
do other things. It is not Planned Parenthood is not an abortion clinic. They do abortions, but there is other things they do. But here's the problem. Yes, education. But here's the problem with education of young children today. I don't know what they do in Canada, but in today's world, in school, like sex ed is no longer, because when I was growing up and my parents grew up, they taught abstinence. Did it work? No, people still fucked, right? So now they're moving away from abstinence and they're just like, well, now we have contraception. But you know what works perfectly? Abstinence and contraception.
I get Shernette. You're saying, okay, 1.8% of known reasons. You're still talking about the majority, well over 90% of people is not rape, is not incest, it's not things like that. So do we base laws on the minority or the majority of people that benefit the most?
We talked about this. Cindy, how about men take some responsibility? That's right. And I said the exact same thing. If men are not willing to be fathers and not able to take care of kids and all that stuff, the same instance where I said, if you can't afford it, don't have sex. Same thing for men. If you don't want to be a father, don't put your dick in.
I'm a single dad. I raised my 2 daughters on my own because
I'm just saying,
my ex-wife didn't want to be a mother.
Nobody is letting anybody off the hook. It is responsibility of both parties. Both parties. And when I say, I'm going to say, if we said keep your legs closed, I'm going to say the same thing for men. Keep your dick out.
Keep your dick out?
Of the vagina. Not
I was like, that sounded a little counter.
That's how I could have figured. Out of the vagina.
It is responsibility on both parties. And I hold both parties accountable, except for the problem is, in the long run, the decision is the woman's decision. And the guy's opinion doesn't matter.
But at the end of the day, abortions aren't going to be banned.
By law, the man's opinion does not matter.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it. It's just leaving it up to the states. You're still going to be able to get abortions. It's not,
Women can't impregnate themselves. That's true. And as I said, it's accountability on both.
And men can't have babies. So, I mean,
well, not yet.
It's like saying fish can't fly. Look.
What the hell are you saying? Laws are made for minority protection as well? No, what we're saying is there are exceptions to laws when it comes to that 1.8% with rape, incest, and stuff like that. There's laws on the book already to protect those. What we're saying is we're not talking about the minority. We're talking about the majority. That's majority.
I think they're responding to what I said about laws should be made like based on the majority of people in general. Like,
I mean, then you have like
you can't have 99% of people having to deal with a law just for 1% of people. Like, laws are mainly based on the majority of people.
Keep your dick away from a woman if you are not ready to take care of a child. Period. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Everybody, some people are getting kind of feisty. Like I'm like, no, it's not that.
Just remember Groovy's advice: keep your dick out.
Yeah,
it could go both ways.
But yes, it's both people's responsibility.
Keep it in your pants is
more effective.
I think that's a little better than keep your dick out. I mean, that kind of is like, what I'm saying?
Then you get to say, out of the vagina. This is the fallopian tubes. Look at my ovaries. They're so huge. But no, it is both.
You keep talking like that. You're going to be the next governor of California.
What? Driver, we've already discussed this. Rape and incest is not okay.
No.
There are laws on the books to protect those people.
Nobody have ever.
Nobody says
Nobody
that
says it's
rape and
okay.
incest is good. I don't understand. Like, we literally just talked about this like 3 or 4 minutes ago.
But that's the same argument people keep bringing up, especially in the media. And it's like, nobody said it was. The reason, okay, you can start off a conversation with saying, well, rape is not good, so we need to tax you for this.
I would besides maybe a rapist, I don't know if you would ever just go around and be like, hey, do you support rape? I don't think there's going to be anybody that's going to be like, yep.
No.
Fuck, even Bill Cosby would be out there being rape is bad. Too soon?
Yeah, too soon.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe a little bit. Just a little bit.
No, nobody said they had to keep the child. That is where I said there are laws when people are saying they're banning abortion. No, they're not.
Adopt the child. Adopt the child.
They do not have to carry the baby to term. Now, if you carry that baby until the 3rd trimester and then 2 weeks before it's supposed to be born, you're like, you know, I don't want this anymore, and then you kill it, then that's a problem with me.
But then that goes back to my thing is like, if you took it that far, why not just have a C-section, which gets rid of the baby from your body, and then sell it? Somebody will pay you $20,000 for that baby. Man.
We don't sell babies. God, what the fuck?
Sell babies.
Well, adoption, you know. I mean,
adoption.
Yeah,
You're trying to get everybody all
between...
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can probably go on
Craigslist. Kicked off of here, aren't you?
Well, he's only got like 77 subscribers right now, so we're not worried about him.
Mike, selling the baby would be a crime.
Oh, but killing it's not?
Well, that's also a crime too.
Well, no, it's not.
But
it should.
It's legal.
I don't know.
Again,
I'm just pointing out the difference in like, okay, well, this is okay, but that's not. One way lets the baby live.
What you were trying to say is, instead of aborting, you could put the baby up for adoption
for a hefty price.
Let's see.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm joking.
You have lit up.
No
chat, Mike. See, you were trying to get me canceled, and all I want to do is have logical discussions and opinion. Cindy says she's always feisty.
That's why I wanted to say Mike, something, but everybody in chat will
stop saying that you are going to sell babies. Okay. There are laws that does not allow it to be aborted after 6 weeks. You don't even know you're pregnant at 5 weeks.
If you want to sell your babies, email me.
Don't shut up, Mike. I'm about to kick you off my panel, dude.
All right, man. I'm gonna go later.
So, yes, there are laws like the Texas heartbeat law. Oh shit, he actually left. There are, but they say 6 weeks and stuff like that. Again, I don't necessarily agree with like having it that close. But if there's the shows like I didn't know I was pregnant and like they're giving birth to babies and like, oh, I didn't know I was pregnant, then you're dumb. Yes, I know women do not have the not always have constant cycles and all that stuff, and there's medication stuff. But if you're going 2-3 months and something's off and you're getting morning sickness and you're gaining weight, you have craving stuff, and then you're like, oh, I didn't know I was pregnant, then you're an idiot. And I'm saying that from a medical perspective. As a medic, when I have screened people and they're like, I've gained 16 pounds and I'm throwing up every morning and my cycle is not happening how it is. And I ask people, I'm like, is there a possibility you could be pregnant? And they're like, oh, I don't know. How do you not know? And then it comes out they're pregnant. And they're like, oh, this explains a lot. Yes. Welcome to biology of the human form. That's how the body works. Now, as I said, I am pro-life, but I'm also not pro-life where it says you have to carry a baby and do all that stuff. Drill sergeant instructors literally stop having periods, but that's usually from stress, lack of sleep, and long hours and stuff. But you're also able to read your body. And usually when they stop having periods, they also stop ovulating, but that's biology as well.
This
That's why they
discussion,
stop periods.
this
But
dis-
the fact of the matter
sorry.
is, the fact of the matter is, when it's first starting out, I don't agree with it as a form of birth control, but I'm also not going to force somebody to carry a baby. I do not agree within the second and third trimester. I think that is immoral, and I think it is wrong. What are you talking about, butts? I'm saying biology. There's no butts. I'm giving you
We're talking
facts.
about butts.
Drill
Oh,
instructors literally stop having periods. That's true because of physical exercise and everything. Just like somebody that goes to the gym for long periods of time and they're training for like muscle building competitions and they do long hours, high stress and stuff, they tend to stop having periods, but they're also stop ovulating at that time. That's why they stop having periods. Their body is reacting to that. It's not a but. And I also don't think women should have abortions in the second and third trimester. I think it is morally wrong. That's my opinion. First trimester, do what you do. But if you have gotten to the second and third trimester and then you make up your decision saying that I'm going to have an abortion, I believe that's wrong. But also, you say I had no. Cindy says I had no symptoms with Beanie other than tired until I was close to 4 months. No morning sickness or anything.
Yeah, every pregnancy is different, of course. You know.
Yeah. But
I mean, it's not like cookie cutter. You know. Oh, as
yeah.
you know, as soon as it's conception, the woman should know that she's pregnant. That doesn't. I mean, it doesn't happen with some women. It just depends on that person and their biology or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
and that's why I said this is a touchy subject, and I'm not trying to piss anybody off.
no.
I'm saying one biology facts, and it's not the science, it's science.
Yeah.
And you also were having sex at the time, and so if you were having sex, there's a possibility you're pregnant. So I would highly recommend if you're having sex, you should get regular pregnancy tests. Then you'll know.
Me, I'm just frustrated and confused.
Or both parties, male and female, should take responsibility and accountability. And if you don't want to be raising a child for 18 years or having to make that decision, then use birth control on both sides.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if you're not and you're having sex on a regular basis, then I would say
I mean, if you're raw dog and you're
regular.
just playing Russian roulette, I mean,
someone always loses.
Of course, there are those women out there that are barren, that can't have a baby, but they want a baby, so they have to adopt, and that's sad too.
So we're gonna go for about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna shut this down because it's fucking nap time. I'm tired.
All right.
But this is a good discussion, and if people are offended, that's not what the purpose was. It was just to have an actual discussion and try to get a temperature. And Shernette, I completely agree. Abortion in the last trimester because you don't want to have a child, it's wrong. I agree. I like how people are morally inclined until it's something that hits home.
Oh.
Driver, you want to come up and talk? Because I'm confused because I don't know what you're referring to because we talked a lot.
I've been confused.
But no, it's how people are morally inclined until it's something that hits home.
oh my God.
Nothing's
That
hitting home
wasn't
for
to
me.
you. I'm sorry.
Okay, just saying, but if you stop having your cycle for 2 months, then you should probably go see a doctor, not trying to piss anybody off. True. Then you might be pregnant. Just saying. But anyway,
Game time.
everybody, thank you for coming for the discussions. We read the news on all sides. We saw how the media and everybody was handling this. We went in the dark recesses of Twitter. And if you don't believe in abortion, you should kill yourself. That's what Twitter pretty much says to everybody. But it was a good discussion. Thank you all for having the discussion with me and listening. And just do research. Don't believe what the media says. Just talk.
Be a ram, not a sheep.
Yep. Don't be a sheep.
That's right.
Look up what Roe versus Wade actually was. There is no constitutional right to abortion. There never was. It was bad law. It was about the 14th Amendment. And it is what it is. But thank you very much, Angie, for being the woman up on the panel.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And Robert, thank you for coming up. And Chadio was here earlier. And remember, if you want to sell your baby,
Mike.
Goddamn. But we love you. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the conversation. The world, tomorrow's a new day, people. Have your own opinions. You can have your own opinions. You can't have your own facts because facts are the facts.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your opinions, but actually discuss the opinions. Discuss your opinions, but have it in a cordial manner. So that way you can hear all sides, different aspects. And then with respect of other people, you can actually have good conversations, see where other people are coming from. But once you cut off the conversation and people start being like a dick and then you shutting down other people, we cannot grow, and we can't grow as a human, mankind, man, woman, male, female, America, Canadians, Canadians, and all the other stuff. We love you all. And everybody is welcome to have good conversations. And you know what? Thanks for listening, guys. We love you. And we will see y'all later. Everybody have a good time.